Have you ever felt overwhelmed? Like your dreams are too big and no matter how hard you try, they seem out of reach? If so, you're not alone. Many of us face that daunting mountain, unsure of how to begin the climb. Let me share a story about someone who once felt the same way. Let's meet Meera. She was an ordinary woman. She had a desk job, lived paycheck to paycheck, and felt trapped in a routine. But she had big dreams, dreams of starting her own business, getting healthier, and providing a better life for her family. Every time she thought about her goals, though, she froze. Where do I even start, she would wonder. One evening, after a long and exhausting day, Meera was scrolling through her phone when she stumbled upon a video. It said, "Change your life with 1% improvements." At first, it seemed far-fetched, but something about it resonated with her. She decided to give it a shot. The next morning, Meera set an alarm to wake up just 10 minutes earlier than usual. Instead of mindlessly scrolling through her phone, she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for. It felt a bit awkward at first, but she stuck with it. Over time, she noticed her mornings felt lighter and more positive. Meera took another small step. She started walking around her block after dinner, just for 5 minutes at first. Then 10 minutes. Then 20 minutes. A few weeks later, she swapped sugary drinks for water. Small, manageable changes. At work, Meera began dedicating 15 minutes every day to learning something new. She watched videos, read articles, and built her knowledge about starting a business. Those 15 minutes became the foundation of her entrepreneurial journey. Months passed, then years. Meera's life had completely transformed. She'd lost 15 kilos, started a small side business that grew into a successful venture, and felt more fulfilled than ever. When people asked her how she accomplished so much, Meera simply smiled and replied, "One step at a time." Meera's story is a perfect example of how small, consistent actions lead to big results. She started by making tiny, manageable changes each day, waking up 10 minutes earlier, practicing gratitude, and dedicating just 15 minutes to learning something new. Over time, these small steps transformed her life. She lost weight, gained confidence, and built a successful business. And just like Meera, Arjun's story is another powerful reminder that consistent effort, no matter how small, leads to extraordinary results. Now meet Arjun, a boy with a deep love for swimming. Growing up in a small coastal town, the sea was his playground. Watching Olympic swimmers on TV, he dreamed of one day standing on the world stage, with a gold medal around his neck, representing his country. But there was a challenge. Arjun wasn't a natural swimmer. His strokes were uneven, his stamina was low, and he often found himself at the bottom in local competitions. Many told him that he didn't have what it took to become a champion. One evening, after another disappointing race, Arjun's coach gave him advice that would change his life: don't worry about the finish line. Focus on improving one thing each day. Arjun took those words to heart. The next morning, he didn't focus on swimming faster. Instead, he worked on improving his breathing technique. The day after that, he focused on his arm movements. Little by little, he broke down his swimming into small, achievable goals. Every day, Arjun arrived at the pool an hour before the other swimmers. He worked on his starts, perfected his turns, and built his stamina. It didn't seem like much at first, but gradually, his swimming improved. His strokes became smoother, his breathing steadier, and his endurance increased. 6 months later, at the state championships, Arjun surprised everyone. Not only did he qualify for the finals, but he also won a silver medal. That was just the first of many to come. Years later, Arjun stood on the podium at an international competition, gold medal around his neck and his country flag waving proudly. Reporters asked how he went from being an underdog to a world champion. His response was simple: "I didn't try to be the best overnight. I just focused on being better than I was yesterday." Arjun's journey teaches us an important lesson: greatness doesn't happen all at once. It's the result of consistent, steady progress, one stroke, one lap, one improvement at a time. So, wherever you are today, remember this: progress, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dream. The truth is, we often underestimate the power of small actions. We think we need to make huge leaps to reach our goals, but the reality is that transformation comes from consistency, not intensity. It's the small, deliberate steps we take every day that lead to the most profound changes over time. Think of it like this: a single raindrop may seem insignificant, but over years, even the smallest streams can carve valleys in mountains. Here's how you can start your journey today. 1. Set a micro goal. Want to get fit? Start with just 5 minutes of movement each day. 2. Be consistent. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about doing a little bit every day. 3. Celebrate your small victories. Each small win creates momentum for the next step. Remember, success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And marathons are run one step at a time. Now, take a moment to think about your dreams. What's one small step you can take today? It could be as simple as writing down your goals, drinking an extra glass of water, or reaching out for some advice. The biggest changes in life don't come from a sudden, dramatic event. They come from the quiet, consistent effort you make every day. So, what's stopping you? Take that first step. One day, you'll look back and realize that small step was the start of something extraordinary.